A new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padres gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
And good day, everybody. It's doubleheader day. 18 innings on tap today between the San Diego Padres and the Cleveland Guardians. My name is Ben Fadden. I'm your host. This is the Talking Friars pregame show for the Padres and the Guardians. Usually I do a pregame show before every single game. Today, since it's a doubleheader, it's a little bit different. I'm doing the pregame show before both games. So I'm going to be I'm doing one pregame show today before the first game gets started, and I'm going to be talking right now about both games, previewing both games, if that makes sense. So it's kind of two pregame shows in one. Padre picks, got two of those since there's two games. I can only do one lineup, obviously, but I have some pretty good guesses on what will happen for the lineup for game 2 today. Both pitching matchups, preview those. Just like usual, answer any questions that anyone has. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in here, whether that's live or that's on replay. You can follow the social media channels on Instagram and TikTok at Talking Friars, on Twitter at Talking Friars as well. On Twitter, I clip video highlights, in-game highlights for a lot of plays that happen. The Instagram and TikTok, usually it's like the big highlights, like if the Padres hit a home run or something like that, or a big play happens, scoring play, where Twitter, it's a lot of highlights, different highlights, little awkward plays maybe. Don and Mud, they say something funny, goes up there. So Talking Friars on Twitter is the go-to destination for everything. So I hope you give it a follow there. And, of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel for daily Padres content, pregame shows, postgame reaction videos. After the doubleheader today, it's going to be an episode live, and it'll be available on the podcast platforms as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, just so everyone can consume those post-reaction or post-series podcast episodes. So that is today after the series, because today it's a one-day series. It got rained out yesterday, game 1. So it's a doubleheader today. So it's pretty much the same stuff as yesterday's pregame show, because I did do a pregame show yesterday. This was before the game got postponed to today at 10:10 a.m. Pacific time, 1:10 in Cleveland. So it's going to be pretty much the same stuff for game 1. Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan, has both games. I believe the second game is going to start like 30 minutes after the first game's supposed to start. Padres enter today 15-8. Guardians are 10-12. Padres are in second place in the National League West. They are a half game back of first. And the Guardians are in second place in their division, the AL Central. They are 4 games back of the Minnesota Twins. So Padres 5-1 so far in the road trip, swept Cincinnati, took 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh. They arguably should be 6-0 on the road trip if they didn't lose that Saturday game, it was a night game, where they had 3 leads, I think, but 2 leads late, 8th inning and the 10th inning, but they could not come through and end up winning there. Clevenger and Gore today for the Padres. This is Clevenger's first action since 2020 in that National League Division Series. He had that one spring training start this year. On March 29th, he allowed 8 earned runs, gave up 2 runs to the Giants, then shortly after had some knee problems, so he started the season on the IL. He made a few rehab starts. 1 was in Lake Elsinore, 2 were in El Paso. He combined for 8 2/3 innings of work, gave up 2 earned runs, 8 hits, struck out 15. And the goal for him today, I would think, is to go 80 pitches. That's what Bob Melvin said during this road trip. I think it was in Pittsburgh. And I could see Nabil Chrismat or Craig Stammen coming in after them. I think both you could see get working today because of the doubleheader. And 18 innings is a lot of innings for one day. So you would think that everyone in the bullpen, almost everyone's going to get some work in today. That's what I'm expecting. So that's a little preview of Clevenger today. What I care about is him coming out healthy, obviously. That's the big thing. If he gives up 8 runs, so be it. Win the next game, win the Gore start, and you come home 6-2 on the road trip. As long as Clev comes out of it healthy, that's what I care about. The Padres did send down Luis Camposano after Sunday's game. They did initially send down Pedro Avila to get the roster down to 26, but the roster now can be 27 for today's doubleheader. So they brought up Avila again today to be that 27th man. Kevin Acee said that moments ago. Campy only got 12 at-bats. I talked about this numerous times already on the reaction video I put out and on the pregame show yesterday for a game that didn't happen, at least as regularly scheduled. Campy only got 12 at-bats while he was up. I thought that the Padres were going to give him a little bit more time, but that ended up not being the case. And with Avila being activated for this 27th guy on the roster, the bullpen is now at 9 guys instead of 8. We'll get to the bullpen chart. I think there's going to be some more difficult decisions. This bullpen is going to look a whole lot different come middle of the season when Michel Baez, Jose Castillo, Drew Pomeranz, Nick Martinez moves to the bullpen. Adrian Morejon can be activated. It's going to look a lot different, I think, especially if Clev and Snell can stay healthy and Gore continues to stay healthy. There might be a few starts this season where Martinez moves back into the rotation if they want to just give Gore a little bit of a rest because he's probably going to have an innings limit on him. So that wouldn't be surprising. Blake Snell does make a rehab start in Lake Elsinore today. So I will keep tabs on that for you on the Talking Friars Twitter, and probably I'll post it on the Instagram as well. That isn't till tonight, though, so that'll be a little bit later in the evening. But I'm expecting a series split today, and especially with a doubleheader. It's hard to win both games of the doubleheader, but you win one of these games, guess what? You go home 6-2 on the road trip, and I'll be happy with that. Padres are facing former Padres all over the place. They got Franmil Reyes, Josh Naylor, Austin Hedges, Owen Miller, Cal Quantra later today in Game 2. We'll preview that a little bit. All over. Logan Allen, I think, he's either in the bullpen or the back end of the rotation. So obviously the Clevenger deal had a lot of Padres going to Cleveland. The Trevor Bauer, Taylor Trammell deal had Franmil going there. So a lot of different former Padres going to be appearing in this series. And then Clev, obviously the former Indian, not Guardian. He was never there with the Guardians, but the former Indian. He's going to be there pitching today in Game 1. Owen Miller, one of the former Padres, did not appear in the big leagues with the Padres, but he is in the lineup today in Game 1, DHing, batting 4th, sandwich in between Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor at first. Franmil and Hedges are not in the Game 1 lineup. Clevenger is a righty on the mound, so maybe they don't like that matchup. But Owen Miller, his OPS plus last year, so that's, I think, ballpark adjusted, I think is what the plus means to the on-base plus slugging percentage. League average is 100. His OPS plus last year was 50, so really bad. This year so far in 17 games, it's 226. So he's doing really, really well. Just wanted to talk about that. The over-under, what's the over-under? What should that be for Hedges hits today, since he's only going to play in probably the second game of this series? The over-under for me is probably like 1 or half, 1.5. And I think he'll get at least 1 hit in the second game. Probably will be a home run hit to the Cleveland Cavaliers arena that's beyond the left field fence, because that's just how former Padres do against the Padres. Franmil probably has a bomb in him. Quantra in Game 2 probably has 12 strikeouts in him. But that's just our luck. Talking about Game 1, Clev against Zach Plesac. I talked about Clev already. Zach Plesac, he got roughed up his last start, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, gave up 1 bomb to the Angels. He's only allowed 3 runs, though, in combined in his first 3 starts of the season when you don't include that Angels start. So for him, it's probably the Angels start was a little bit of an outlier. You obviously hope that that's not the case and that the outliers were the 3 first starts of the year and the Padres can get to him today. But that's the Zach Plesac situation. Game 2, Mackenzie Gore against Cal Quantra. Gore struck out 10 last time out. Best start of his career, I think, so far. Gave 1 run against the Braves. He's combined, I think, for 3 runs allowed. Yeah, 3 runs allowed in his 3 combined starts. He had an argument for Rookie of the Month, 176 earned run average, but Seiya Suzuki took that home in the National League. And I understand why. He was there the whole time. Plays every day because he's a hitter. But Gore had one heck of a good start to his big league career in April. Cal Quantra, on the other hand, former Padre, he has the 3.27 earned run average so far this year, has not allowed more than 3 runs in any 2022 start. He's coming off of 6 innings of work, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts in his last start against the Angels. So his start was much better than how Plesac's went against the Angels. And like I mentioned, 12 strikeouts is coming against the Padres in Game 2. So maybe the Padres do need to win Game 1 because Game 2 they're not going to win if Quantrill does 12 strikeouts like that, you know. But that's just the pessimistic version of me talking, I guess. Is the former Padres going to just go dominate against us? But that's how Cal Quantrill has done so far this year. Talking about the bullpen situation here for a little bit. Let me share my screen. 2 days off. There's not a whole lot to talk about in this bullpen situation. Pedro Avila was added as the 27th man on the roster. Every guy has had a minimum of 2 days off, pitching-wise in a game. Rogers available, Garcia, Wilson, Suarez, the big 4 have all had at least 2 days off. Garcia and Wilson have had 3. Chris Matt, Stammen, I would expect them to get in today. Piggyback Clevenger at some point. One of those 2. Lamet, everyone's going to get in the game. Maybe not Avila, the 27th guy. They're just going to have him in case one of the games is a blowout and they want to protect the bullpen because they do have to play not just 2 games today, but they have to play tomorrow as well, starting a 4-game series against the Marlins. And then I believe they don't have an off day. The rest, what happened? You got me back? Okay. My screen went black there for a second. I don't think the Padres, here, I'll look at their schedule. They don't have an off day. I don't think they have an off day until, what is that? Thursday, May 12th. Yeah, because so not only do they have a doubleheader today, but then they have to go play 7 games, 7 straight at home against the Marlins and Cubs. Now, that's not the Dodgers and Giants that they're playing, but that's the bullpen situation. Everyone should be available. Everyone's had at least 2 games off. Now to the lineups. Same lineup as yesterday for the Padres. Different for the Guardians, which is kind of interesting. I mean, they put their lineup out yesterday, so you would think it would be the same lineup today because you're facing the same starter, but I guess not. For the Padres, talked about it yesterday on the pregame show for the game that did not happen. Grisham, Crony, Manny, Pro, Haas, Awesome Kim. Awesome is his nickname. I did not say Ha-Sung wrong. Awesome is what they're calling him, I guess, in the clubhouse. Matt Beatty DHing. Fans don't like that. I understand. He's hitting .067. Will this be his last week on the team with Luke Voigt having a rehab assignment starting yesterday? He went 0 for 2 with a walk, struck out once, scored a run. Will this be the last couple games for Beatty? Who knows? Nola hitting 8th, catching Clev, and then Trace Thompson in right, as I think he should be. C.J. Abrams is not going to get as many at-bats. I mean, Ha-Seong Kim is just hitting better, and it's not like Kim at the beginning of the year where he was hitting 8th or 9th. He's hitting 6th, so it's not like they're putting him in there for the matchups and they're hoping that he does well. He's been hitting well. So not a whole lot to take away from this lineup for me. Matt Beatty DHing, I guess, but Camposano's not on the roster anymore, and they want Alfaro as the backup. They don't want to have the situation where Nola gets hurt, Alfaro has to come in, and now you have a pitcher hitting the rest of the game. For Cleveland, Miles Straw, Steven Kwan, Jose Ramirez, then the former Padre Owen Miller, who's hitting .377 this year. An amazing start for him. Josh Naylor hitting over .300. That was kind of a thing to do business, right? A price of doing business in that Clev deal. Naylor was kind of like Ty France, like the DH was years away. He wasn't going to get a whole lot of playing time, right? Behind Hosmer and Manny. It just wasn't going to happen. There was no DH. He wasn't going to play. He wasn't great in the outfield, so he's at first base in Cleveland. Got to be happy for him. Happy for Franmil as well. Hedges, I guess I'm happy for whenever he has success, but like I'm not missing him. He's hitting over 200, hitting 9th in their order whenever he's playing. That's where he was in the lineup yesterday before that game got postponed. But Ahmed Rosario hitting 6th, playing short. Andres Jimenez, red fire start. He's hitting 7th, playing 2nd for the Guardians. Luke Maley at catcher, and Richie Palacios, I think is how you say his name, batting 9th and left, batting .333. A big storyline here, and this is a joke, but the return of Terry Francona and Don Orsillo together. I don't know if you guys saw on social media that video of Mud and Don yesterday, or not Mud and Don, excuse me. Don and Terry Francona in the hallway outside of the Guardians press room, hugging it out. Terry joking around with Don, messing with his hair. And Don's like, I don't care what you do. We don't have a game today. Do whatever you want with this hair. But if you don't, that's been a thing. Like whenever they visit Cleveland or they play the Guardians, they're always messing around with each other because Terry was the Red Sox manager for a long time and Don was the Red Sox TV voice for a long time. So they are, jumbling my words. They are great friends. So they love talking with each other when Cleveland and San Diego get to meet. We talked about the two pitching matchups today already. Clev against Plesac in Game 1. Game 2, Gore and Quantra. Game 2, like I mentioned, it's probably going to get started like a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, after Game 1 concludes. Because Game 1 was scheduled to get underway at the same time the regularly scheduled game was today. So if they played yesterday, they were supposed to play at 1 today, 1:10 Cleveland time. So they were supposed to get out. They're supposed to get out of Cleveland at like 5. But they have another game. So they're going to get out late. Padres are going to come in. What would it be? Would it be like 9, 10 p.m.? What would it be? Coming into San Diego today, I don't know. Regularly scheduled game, 9 innings both games. I don't know how long the flight is, but they probably get in like 9 o'clock, something like that. Maybe later, 10 o'clock tonight in San Diego, and then they have a game at 6:40 tomorrow night against the Marlins. So we'll see what the bullpen situation is like there. Some of my what to watch for is today, Clev's health. That's all that matters for me in Game 1 in terms of his performance. Obviously, we'd like him to go 4 shutout innings, 5 shutout innings, but he's probably going to be like 80 pitches around there. As long as he's healthy, I don't care what the result is really, to be honest. And then Naylor, Franmil, Hedges against the Padres, Owen Miller. What are they going to do? Franmil and Hedges probably going to play Game 2. Pham just hit .348 with 3 bombs against the Padres in the Reds season series, those 6 games against the Padres. Just adding to the list of former Padres that have beaten up on the Padres when they go to play them. Alexi Amarista, Nick Hundley, Cameron Maben, Adrian Gonzalez. Just go down the line. So that's what I'm looking for. Beatty's last week. Talked about that with Voit coming off the IL, hopefully sometime during the homestand. Be reinserted as the DH, and then Beatty, is he going to be gone? They go with an outfield of 4 outfielders with, well, Myers also could come off sometime later than Voit, obviously, because that was that thumb issue. He's put on the IL after Voit, but until Myers comes back, you go with the 4-man outfield: Thompson, Profar, Grisham, Azokar, or do you put Azokar down and you have Beatty still up? Those are decisions. Those I think Azokar or Beatty are the likeliest to be sent down. Abrams, they don't have anyone else to be a backup middle infielder off the bench, so he's going to stay up, I think. Even though he does need more seasoning, they just don't have a choice. What, you're going to bring Eggy Rosario up and not have C.J. Abrams on the roster? Like, that's not a likely scenario. My Padre pick, I'm making this kind of spot on right now on the air, because on YouTube here live, because yesterday I was supposed to pick Cronenworth. So I'll go with Crony just to be fair, because I did pick him yesterday. Game 2, I mean, I don't know what the lineups are going to be, so I'll just pick Manny as the safe bet, because I figure he's going to be in the lineup because he plays every day, whether that's DH or third, he plays every day. So I'm going to go with him for game 2, just not only just for the safe pick of getting a hit, but like the safe pick that he's going to play. So I'll do that. If he gets hurt game 1 or something crazy happens, obviously you don't want that to happen. He's the best player in baseball right now. He's the MVP of baseball right now, in my opinion, AL and NL combined. If you want to combine the 2 leagues, I'd still put Manny as the MVP. You obviously don't want anything to happen, but if something does happen, then I'll probably tweet out who my game 2 Padre pick is. But game 1, Cronenworth. Game 2, Manny. Cronenworth will be facing Plesac. Game 2, Manny will be facing Cal Quantra, the former Padre. Good morning, Irie. How's it going? Beatty is not a good backup for Myers. Any Myers news on when he'll come back? Don't know. He has not gone on a rehab assignment yet. Voit went on a rehab assignment starting yesterday, went 0 for 2. Darth Vader, hello. How's it going? Is today May the 4th? I think May 4th. My brother's big into Star Wars, so I have no idea, but my sister too. May the 4th be with you, or whatever that is. I'm not into Star Wars, so maybe that's a good day for you today. Okay, so yeah, Anarchy Seed says May the 4th. Good morning. All right. Some MLB news and scores, news and scores. Yesterday, the Dodgers beat the Giants 3-1. Chris Taylor came through with the big double. The Mets won both of their doubleheader games. Arizona beat the Marlins 5-4. Aaron Judge, Giancarlo, and they both homered for the Yankees. They've won 11 straight games. That was an amazing moment when Judge hit the home run. A Blue Jays fan got the ball, and there was a Judge kid, a fan with a Judge shirt on behind him, in a row behind him, and the Blue Jays fan immediately gave him the ball, and the Yankee fan, the kid, went up and immediately hugged him and was crying. So that was a really cool moment to see. Baseball's the best. For all those dummy fans that want to get into fights and all that, the best moments, just go look up that Judge home run and you'll see it. As for the rest of the division, Colorado got whooped by the Nationals 10-2. Today, the Padres, there's 2 doubleheaders today. They're not the only one. Okay. Pittsburgh and Detroit have a doubleheader. That also starts at 1:10 Eastern time. But around the division for today, Same matchups. Colorado plays Washington at 5:40 San Diego time. San Francisco plays the Dodgers at 7:10. Dusty Baker, good for him. He joined the 2000 win club yesterday for managers. Max Scherzer got thrown out of that Mets game, arguing balls and strikes when he was in the dugout. He wasn't in the game. Will Leitch, whatever however you pronounce his name, on MLB.com, he put out a list of the 7 most fascinating players right now. And his 7 players are J.P. Crawford of the Mariners, Travis d'Arnaud of the Braves, Randall Grichuk of the Rockies, David Robertson of the Cubs, Daniel Vogelbach, the Padres just played him, of the Pirates, Michael Wacha of the Red Sox, and, drumroll please, Jurickson Profar of the Padres. Those are his 7 most fascinating players right now. He said, I'm just trying to read a description here on what Leach said about Profar. Profar has 5 homers for the team, which is wild to even think about. Imagine saying before last season that the Padres home run leader for the first month would be Profar. Yeah, that is pretty wild. Manny has, I think, 4. Getting back to Clevinger, how will Clevinger deal? How will he do? I guess your guess is as good as mine. My big thing is I want him to stay healthy. As long as he stays healthy, probably 4 to 5 innings, somewhere around there. 80 pitches is what Bob Melvin said last week, I think. Something around that range, 4 to 5 innings. If he gives up 4 runs, he gives up 4 runs, What I'm interested in is him staying healthy. That's all I care about. For game 1. I want them to split today. If they split, I'll be a happy camper. Clev, just stay healthy. That's what I care about. And today, especially with the conditions today, the conditions are, I don't think it's supposed to rain, but it's not sunny in Cleveland, I'll tell you that, from what I've seen. So I'm just hoping that he stays healthy. That's all I care about today. All right, I think this will do it. A double-header pregame show. Padres Guardians, the Talking Friars pregame show. I'm Ben Fadden, your host. Got a live episode on YouTube coming to you after the game, after I put out my post-reaction video. Again, I'll be clipping highlights at Talking Friars on Twitter, putting those out during both games of the doubleheader. I hope you guys can subscribe to this YouTube channel, put the post notifications on. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because I know some people on this channel want to implement those super chats. Daily Padres content every single day. Hope you subscribe. Hope you follow on Twitter as well, at Talking Friars, on Instagram, on TikTok. That'll do it for the pregame show. Everyone enjoy the doubleheader, 8-10 innings at least, before the Padres head home to play the Marlins. I'll see you after the doubleheader.